feeling lonely, and I want a minute, it's time to end the ride. Fading it too slowly, with those gonna lift me up this time. You were the only one who got me tripping up inside. All the words you told me, am I reading something different from your eyes? See you, for a moment even hope that I can feel you. See you, all that I wanted was to tell you that I need you. See you, for a moment even hope that I can feel you. See you, all that I wanted was to tell you that I need you. Now I'm finally right here with you. Now I'm finally right here with you.
Hey guys, I'll just switch to the test server because we are going to be going onto the test server, but we're going to be talking about weapon balance and stuff before I hop on. Yeah, I'm going to be switching my music to Monster Cat. These are just songs that I had from NCS.
Countless hours spending by your side. You look at me, I'm soaring, seeing all the truth behind your eyes. See you, for a moment even hope that I can feel you. See you, all that I wanted was to tell you that I need you. See you, for a moment even hope that I can feel you. See you, all that I wanted was to tell you that I need you. Now I'm finally right here with you.
So right now what I have is basically what we're going to be, I guess, testing on the test server.
Now I'm finally right here with you.
Or just have no music. Yeah, I could do no music if you guys want. You know how it is though, when I play music someone doesn't like it. When I don't play music someone doesn't like it either. As the saying goes, you know, you can please some of the people some of the time, all of the people all the time, but you can never please all the people all the time.
All we gotta feel is amplified. Sing to the morning.
Okay, so we're gonna be let me just turn this off here because we are gonna be talking about weapon rebalancing and stuff first. But before I get into that, we can just go over the test server here because we're gonna have I guess quite a few people. Yeah, I can't turn that down lower, unfortunately, Falcon, the music. It's just because of my controls. I don't know how to do that. If I turn it down, then it's gonna turn on game sounds as well. Like, I don't have a way to isolate that, unfortunately. Togi here, I'm not sure. Okay, so anyways, we're going to be talking about first the test server and what we're going to be looking at first. So on the test server this weekend, this is for iOS. I'm assuming that it's the same for Android because, well, we basically test the same stuff. Everything on the test server is level 8. Squads will be disabled. We are testing the Descend robot, which you may or may not have seen the video that I put out. It has a jump ability and it goes into stealth mode pretty much, you know, when it's in the air, and then 5 seconds after you land, it's still in stealth. It has a 20-second cooldown time, the stealth, and then we have the new medium weapon prototype, which it looks like a Zeus, but you can hit multiple targets. And, you know, I have other stats on the screen, so if you want to take a look at that, you can take a look at that. And then we also have extra damage to physical shields by machine guns, Kang Days, Nashons. They have 250% damage to physical shields there. And yeah, I'm just going to mention that because we are going to be getting into a talk about that as well. And then we have the new paint job for the Fury. All Tulumbas and pins, yeah. Yeah, I see that. We're going to be talking about that too. Okay, so I have a list here. I'm just going to go over seeing who... I think I might wait a bit because I'm expecting the numbers to grow you know, when I start talking about, you know, what is going to be changed in the game with the next update. Let's see. Actually, you know what? I should put a slow mode on here just in case, because there might be a lot of, we'll do 20 seconds. Can do, yeah, that's pretty crazy. The punishes, someone did calculation there. So we're gonna be running that. I'm going to be running this robot first, which is the Descend robot. So if you haven't yet checked this out, this is what it looks like. You can put a heavy on. So I'm just going to throw on a, let's do a Thunder, and we'll do Orkins. And here's a descriptive of basically what this robot can do. They call it prototype, and then what is that? IQSTR, but we just call it a Descend robot because that's basically what the ability is. Are you on? I'm on the Trebuchet Shin. I'm not sure. I think I'm on no, I got a Magnum. I can't remember what it is. Yeah, I might be on the same one. I'm not sure. So yeah, this is the robot. So this is the Descend. We're just calling it Descend robot. We actually don't really know what the name is. I guess I'm not sure if they said on the name, but that's what was in the email. So this is what the robot looks like. Kind of looks like a Griffin, actually. So we're gonna take a look at this. We're gonna talk about the Tempest. We're going to talk about, okay, so this is what we're going to be talking about. We're going to be talking about the Tempest, the Gecko, the Treb, Spirals, Aphids, Hydras, Pins, Tulumbas, Orkin, Panada, Magnum, Tyrans, and then we have the Punishers and the Molots. So that's what we're going to be talking about today with regards to like the rebalancing of those weapons and, you know, what to expect in the next update. It looks like Iron Man. It actually does kind of look like Iron Man. Actually, you know what? It doesn't have... Oh, it does. It kind of has that, like, what is it? The arc reactor thing. So I'm gonna go to... Let's go to... We're gonna run the Tempest because that's one of the things that we're gonna be talking about. So let's throw this on here. And the Fury has a new paint job. So if you haven't yet checked it out, this is the Marine. Hulkbuster armor. When will the Descend robot? I have no idea. Generally, when I see something on the test server for the first time, I kind of plan out it's probably going to be between 1 and 2 months from now. But there was actually, I don't think there was any mention of it in the roadmap, the summer roadmap. So I'm not sure. So yeah, this is the Marine one. I actually really like the skin for the Fury. So we're going to throw that in. Let's see, wait, what did I got to turn this. I didn't even hear any music. Not that it matters. Okay, well. Let's see, what are we testing here too? So we're going to do, so they've made changes to the Gecko as well as the Trebuchet. So I guess I'm going to run pattern with Gecko. I mean, what else are you going to run? Yeah, well, I guess I could run, yeah, I'll run that. We're going to be testing this, and we're going to see how well this does. 1 or 2 months. Well, that's the first time. I think you guys have seen it on Android though, so I don't know. That's usually how I plan, like when I kind of estimate when it's going to come out. Let's see, what should we go with? We'll go with this one. It's going to be red lasers. You might have, well, paint that pattern red. Big fat red target. We got Trebs here. Should I run the Butch? I don't even know if I'm gonna wait. Let's see what else we're gonna be testing. Trebs, Spiral, Aphid, Hydra. We can use a pattern for a lot of that. Okay. I don't know how this is going to end up working, because if we land on a if we land on a small map, this is not exactly going to work in my favor, but we're going to test this out anyways. So let's get this loaded up, and let's skin on it. So we got skin on that. I'm just kind of going through a list here to see what else you know, we are going to be talking about here. Hydra. This is going to be one of the very few times that you actually see me run the Hydra. Okay, so what do you guys want to see the Hydra on? Do you want me to run it on like a Dock, Fuging, a Griffin? Let me know in the chat. Yeah, guys, if it's buffering like crazy, what you can do is you can turn down the resolution, because I am live streaming at 1080 right now. So you can drop it down to 720 so that it doesn't buffer like crazy. Dock, you guys got a lot of docks. Okay, looks like everyone wants the dock. So I'm gonna throw in Hydras on here. Damn, jeez, I better hope that I land on a long map, because this is not gonna be fun at all. I've basically got only like, what, one brawler there? Okay, so we've got the Hydras, we've got Trebs. Oh jeez, this is like a very rare occasion that you actually see me run so much range like this in my lineup, unless I'm trolling. So it feels like I'm trolling. 250 damage physical, Ancilot's energy and physical shield in 8 seconds. That is actually pretty crazy. Yeah, I haven't done any calculations. So anyways, it looks like we have quite a few. We have quite a few that have dropped by, so I'm going to be talking about everything first, I think, because otherwise it's going to be hard for me to concentrate on, you know, what the information I want to give to you guys, and to do gameplay and commentary at the same time, because there's a lot of focus on that, and then I have to watch the chat too. Hi Ghost. Okay, so the first thing that you know, that I basically got given from Pixonic, you know, they kind of notified me of some of the changes that we are going to be expecting in the next update, so version 2.9.2. One of the things that a lot of players were complaining about and were concerned about was the Tulumbas and pins. There was a big thing about, like, you know, rocket domination and all of that. So what they're going to be doing is they've already reevaluated. I mean, a lot of their decisions are made based on, you know, what they see on their side. Like I said before, you know, they tend to monitor everything. If you guys are very concerned about something and you're kind of angry and stuff, the chances are, if everyone is running it, they probably know about it, because it will set off alarm bells on their end. And I mentioned this about Tulumbas and pins, where, you know, if everyone starts using it, the chances are it's probably going to be nerfed. So the first thing that we're going to be talking about here is the Tempest weapon. So the Tempest weapon, based on what they are telling me here, is going to get a 20% damage increase buff. Let me see. They have... So the Tempest weapon is this weapon over here. So this is going to get a 20% damage increase buff. They have here for now, you can only get the Tempest exclusively through event activities. And they just basically, you know, say that it will be available like kind of later. I'm not sure how they're going to be doing it, but that's for now. It's only going to be available, you know, through events. And they're giving it 20%, mostly because, well, it is a heavy weapon, so you would expect it to do more damage if they're going to be buffing, you know, the other weapons, as you guys have mentioned before, that they have buffed the Punishers and the Molots. So we'll be talking about that. So the Punisher, the damage for the Punisher is going to be getting a 15% increase buff. The Punisher Mark II is going to be getting 25% buff. and the Molot is going to be getting 15%, and Molot Mach 2 20%. So you're going to be seeing a lot of the kinetic weapons, so machine guns, whether it be Punishers, Molots, are going to be getting an increased buff because they want them to play, I guess, a bigger part in gameplay. Because right now you're seeing a lot of pretty much just Tyrans and Magnums. So they're trying to buff that a little bit more so that it plays more of a role. Okay, so that's kind of where they're going to be going. And then I guess on the test server we are testing that 250%. Let me just see here. 250% damage increase to physical shields. So that's what we are testing right now. So you can kind of see where the game is going in terms of, you know, what they're testing and where they basically want the game to go. Yep. So they're changing the importance, or at least the role of these weapons. And let's see, what else do we have going on here too? So that's so the machine guns and the Tempests are going to get a buff. And I think everyone's kind of wondering about, so we're going to be talking about the nerfs here, because I know many of you guys are going to be asking about this, and it's sort of a big deal right now. So medium range rockets, so pins and Tulumbas, so many of you have been complaining about it, and I'm pretty sure that it probably showed up in their numbers. And like I said, you know, if everyone is running it, the chances are it's going to show up. It's going to set off alarm bells on their end. And I think that's pretty much what happened. So what they've done with the pins and Tulumbas, the shot interval has been, increased by 25%. So basically pins and Tulumbas shoot slower now. They shoot slower than they do on the live server. And I believe all of these changes from what I know, or last that I heard, it's actually implemented on this test server. So we're going to be taking a look at some of these changes. Okay, so the pins and Tulumbas are going to get nerfed. They're going to shoot slower, just so that you guys are aware of that. And what else are we going to be talking about here? So let's see, long range. So geckos and trebuchets are going to be increased. They're going to be buffed. Gecko's going to be buffed an additional 25%. And one reason why was, I guess, just because they're finding not many players are using it. I'm not sure if that's going to make too much of a difference. Maybe on larger maps, perhaps. I don't know. Trebuchet is going to be buffed, but only 5%. And a lot of their decisions are based on, you know, what they see on their end. Okay, so like I said, they monitor everything. If players are using too much of a certain weapon or too much of a certain robot or build, then they know that there is something there that's causing some sort of imbalance, and then they'll go in and they'll start to make adjustments, or at least test it on the test server to see how it affects the gameplay. So yeah, just so that you guys know. And the other thing here too, so there's we have two other areas here that they're going to be buffing. So spirals, aphids, and hydras, all of those are going to be buffed in the next update. Spirals are going to be buffed 15%, aphids 5%, and hydras 15%. One of the things that they have found, I guess, was just because of like faster robots being able to avoid or evade these these weapons. But I think they're finding it more so in high level play. A lot of players aren't really using those weapons anymore, so that's why they are trying to bring that back to the game. I'm not sure how I feel about it, because, you know, it is very annoying to get hit by like spirals and hydras, but this is, they're basing their decisions on what they see in terms of numbers on their end. Okay, so that's what they're going to be doing with that. And the other thing too is, let me just see that I got everything covered here. Lastly, close range rockets. So they're going to be giving the Orkan, the Pinata, an increase in damage. Orkan's going to be getting a 15% damage increase buff, and Pinata's 5%. Magnums and Tyrans are also going to be increased in damage as well. So Magnum's 5% damage buff, and Tyran is going to be 15%. Okay, so we're going to be seeing an increase in damage with those weapons. So I think the whole reason why they are doing that with the Orkan, the Pinata, Magnum, Tyran is because if they're going to be buffing for the most part, well, I wouldn't say buffing because they're nerfing the pins and Tulumbas, but if they are going to be buffing other ranged weapons, in order to make the close range weapons more viable, or at least strengthen it, they have to make it do more damage, because otherwise, why run any close range weapons? So you see what I'm saying? 15 or 50%. Which one are you referring to, Stephen? So Orkin is getting a damage buff of 15, 1-5. Penata is getting a damage buff of 5. Magnum is going to get a damage buff of 5%. And Tehran, damage buff of 1-5. So 115%. Okay, so it's between 5 and 15. So for all of those. So that's why I'm going to be testing these things out. And we're going to be taking a look to see how they do. Okay, so just so that you guys can understand kind of where they're going with some of these changes. And like I said, none of this is actually set in stone, because, like I say, if we start to play the game and they notice that a weapon is too powerful, they will see it on the end. Like, it's guaranteed that they will see it. And then it's a matter of, like, how do they balance it out? Because they have to keep in mind that if they rebalance a weapon, then it's got to be able to work with other builds and other weapons in the game, because otherwise you create that imbalance. Why am I using pattern geckos? Because that's one of the weapons that we're going to be testing. So Hydras, as I said, this one got a buff here. How much did I say? This one got a buff of 15%. So yeah, so this is going to be the annoyance to the next level. Okay, let's just put that down there. I don't know why I always choose these builds with like this, and then I forget, like, oh crap, the screen. Maybe they got to get rid of this screen altogether. Yeah, so you're gonna be seeing some players run that weapon that looks like a lightning or a Zeus weapon. This guy crash. Let's see if I can even do any damage to this guy. Like I said, this weapon is more of an annoyance. Let's get rid of the screen here. So this weapon tends to, I would say it tends to excel more on larger maps. On a map like this is a lot of cover, so at least you can use cover, but just for me personally, I do find it pretty annoying. I think most players find it annoying. It's because it's homing. Still can't hit this guy. This guy I'm not even going to bother with, because he's got a shield here, so that's not even going to do much for me either. This guy I'm hitting, but not by much. Let's see if I can... A lot of these players are standing still. I don't know if they're experiencing lag or crashing. You see that guy? This guy's obviously testing out the gecko. Okay, let's switch this out. You guys still experiencing the buffering? Just let me know, because if you are, then try to lower the resolution, because I am live streaming at 1080 right now. I usually do it at 1080 and I don't really have a problem, so maybe some of you may have a lower connections, slower I should say rather. So Trebs should do more damage, but not by much. Is it even if you lower the resolution? but no buffering yet. Yeah, it might have something to do with your location too. It's fine at 480. Someone's buffering at, I'm at 720 and it buffers. Some saying at 140. Yeah, you see, I think a lot depends on your location in the world, your where you are. Okay, I'm gonna get rid of this one. Let's run something a little bit more exciting. I don't know, those builds tend to be very boring for me. I like sitting back like that. Resolution got better. You know what? I'm gonna put on some Monster Cat music. Gotta play with some music here. I turned music off because viewers were complaining. Just waiting to reload here before I get this guy on the left side. I'm getting hit on the left side too. So let's play another game. See if we can get a larger map so we can at least see some of the damage. Here we go. Start with the, I'm gonna start with the pattern gecko. This guy's running the Tempest on the Butch with the Zeus weapon here. And he's a violent giant. That's an interesting name. Oh crap. They've got a guy back there with eyeballs. Come on, at least pop some weapons off. This guy's gonna kill me. Trying to get charged up here so that I can take this guy out. Take him out with range. There's a guy with the, it looks like a dock on the right side here who's running towards us. He has the that new medium weapon prototype. So you see how he's hitting my teammate to the right, but I was still getting hit by it. Gonna let this charge up here so I can hit them with that full damage. Is thunder being buffed? No, the thunder's not being buffed. The Orkin is though. I noticed that. Look at the guy's, did you see that? His shield or whatever it was, splashes of red. I saw that before when we were testing the other visual effects a while back. I don't really like that. So I hope that's a bug or something. Whoa, that guy he just evaded that last shot of mine. Trying to curve it around. I find I can't lock onto these guys. I guess that's one good thing about that bot is if you're getting hit by spirals, if you jump, then at least you could jump to cover. So this is a Griffin here. He can't avoid it because he's gonna get hit regardless. Do you guys hear that? That's something I forgot to add in my one video, is when you jump you hear this thud noise. I actually really like that. I hope they incorporate that to the other robots as well. I'll show you when I'm able to jump. I'll turn the music off so you can hear it. Yeah, just listen to it when I jump and when I land. So listen to this. Do you hear that? I'll do that again after this one so we can get rid of this guy. Actually, we might not have enough time. There's like a thud noise when you jump. You'll be able to hear it now. I'm gonna see if I can jump away from all this noise. Let's see. Yeah, listen. You see that? Like the whole ground shakes. The ground shakes and you hear this like thud noise when it lands. I noticed this when I was editing, and I was like, I forgot to mention it because I actually didn't notice it was that sound. I gotta go where it's like quiet. Yeah, listen. Listen to this. It's a thud noise. That's actually pretty cool. They should do that for all the robots. Tsunami incoming. So I don't know, guys. What do you want me to run? I mean, I've got the Tempest here. I'm just going through the list so that I can take a look at. Maybe I should run the Pins and Tulumbas so that we can see, you know, because they say here that it shoots slower. So maybe we need to take a look at that. Let's take this out here. I think the best way is actually to run something like a fuging, because with the fuging you can run 3. So let's see if it's actually slowed down. The other one's pins. I guess I could put that on this one here. Let's do that. Okay, so we've got pins here, and then I'll take this out and we'll put maybe, what should we do? Maybe a Griffin with Molots? I could try that. Let's do a Griffin with Molots. Oh, I could do Punishes too, actually. Yeah, let's do... Should I keep the Tempest in, or do you want to see Punishes? Orc and Empanada buff. Yeah, apparently, I think from the last I heard, as far as I know, basically, you know, everything that I mentioned is on the test server. So, yeah. So basically what you see on the test server is what they are testing right now and what is most likely going to be happening in the next update. Except for, I think, the increased damage to physical shields. I don't think they said they're going to include that yet. Keep the Tempest. Okay, I'll keep the Tempest in. I'll run with this, and then what I'll do is I will swap out the Molot Griffin with the Punisher Griffin afterwards. Or I could put Punishers on this thing. Yeah, let's do that then. I'll put a Punisher Griffin in afterwards. Am I going to be going onto the live server later on? Not for this live stream. We're going to be focusing purely on the test server here and some of the changes that they've made. I want to really focus on the Pins and Tulumbas because I want to see if it's slower like they say. Tempest, Molot, I could try that. I think I did that on my in my video that I posted today. Yeah, Greg, I like the that thump noise. I think they should do that for all the robots. They really should, because it adds to it. And you notice that the ground even shook too. Grape guy. So let's try the pattern here. We're gonna see if it fires slower. I think I do notice it is slightly. Oh man, look at all those eyeballs. Are we up against a squad here? They're just all running it, I guess. Maybe they're just time dropping. I don't know, do you guys notice that it's slower? I think it is slightly slower. We're about to find out. These guys all have that weapon. Oh man, I'm getting hit from behind here too. It is slower. I think it is slight delay. Yeah, it is slower. You can tell. You know, when I keep my finger on the fire button, then you can. Oh jeez, I'm getting hit. You see, someone's using that weapon. I just got out of the spawn. I haven't even got out the spawn yet. I'm already like down 82,000. It's no point in me going into a sentry mode here because I'm gonna die anyways. I'm gonna have to test that a little bit more. This guy's crashed, I think. He's not moving. You know what? Maybe I should use this guy for a... These guys are all using their weapon, man. That they could technically hit both of us here. Oh jeez, we gotta get a brawler out here. That did some pretty good damage. Game's over though. We were down like basically 3 guys. Well, even more maybe. Slower rate of fire. Yeah, I've got to test out the Tulumbas. The pins definitely look slower though. The pins look slower. Patch notes for the update. They haven't released it yet, Alex. I think they're gonna make it. I guess when they release it, it's gonna be public. Thanks, Soccer. Worse than facing a squad of stalkers. I think what's actually worse, well, what makes things worse is the that new weapon. I don't really like that new weapon. It's just my honest opinion. I mean, when you are able to fire and it hits multiple players behind cover, it sort of gets rid of the whole skill factor too. It's kind of like that pulse weapon from a while back. See how this guy, he's hitting someone else, but I get hit anyways. It's like guaranteed damage. I don't like guaranteed damage like that. I'm trying to look to see the interval if it's a lot slower. Yeah, it is quite a bit slower, I think. I've got to run it, I think, on an RDB Griffin. I've got to test that out. Splash damage? It's not splash, it's like direct. So basically, so you see, like, we have 3 guys here up top. If someone hits a Fury, I get hit, and this guy next to me, he gets hit too, and anyone who spawns in this area will get hit. That's how it works. Not a fan of that kind of gameplay. Yeah, the pins definitely seem slower. You can tell it is slower. Tulumbas are the same. The pins do look slower though, right? Or is it just me? Because when I keep my fire button down, I'm waiting a while for the next round to fire. Let's see. See, look, I'm getting hit. There's some guy that's firing. They're firing at my teammates, but I'm getting hit around the corner here. Trying to fire in between so that hopefully the splash could hit both of those guys. Let's see what this one can do. Ooh. The Scourge, yeah. I think they're gonna end up nerfing that a bit, but I think they're gonna change some of the characteristics. I'm still not sure about that kind of weapon. What do you guys think if they change it into like more of a shrapnel weapon, where you can actually visually see? This guy's gonna be taking me out. I'm gonna go into see if I can go into that accelerated state. Oh, oh, oh. So equal getting shredded up by Molots. Molots are the same. I need to actually hit someone that has a physical shield. That's what I need to do. I think someone's testing aphids on me. What does this guy have? Molots seem quicker when I'm in accelerated state. I don't think they made it quicker though, did they? I don't know. It's supposed to do more damage though. This guy got shredded up pretty good there. The Orkans will be getting more, they're getting a damage buff. Molots should be stronger. Molots and Punishers, that's what they plan on doing. On the test server now, Molots and Punishers, I believe, also do an additional 250% damage to physical shields. Ooh. Trying to see if I can take out that butch back there. I actually really like this Tempest weapon now. It sounds so cool. I noticed like when I hit... Oh, that... His shield that was lighting up. It has that weird effect. You can hear the thud now. Listen to this. You see the whole ground shakes too. Thanks, Click. Should I keep running? You know what? I'm gonna take this pattern out. Oh, wait, I'm gonna put punishes on this one. We're gonna put punishes on the Griffin, and then what I'm gonna do is I'm gonna run a RDB, because that's really the only way to tell, I guess. And if you want, I guess I could switch to the live server too for a game, and then we can make a comparison. Could do that too if you want. Have to watch my gold here because I am running a bit low. Let's just run it on. Let's run it on the shock. So we'll be able to check from there. Let's see, what should I? Trying to see how much I will have if I get this one here. Hi, Jack. Okay, so someone's asking about the Orkans getting a buff there. I see Richard. Okay, so I'm going to tell you right now what's happening to the Orkan. So the Orkan in the next update is going to get a damage buff of 15%, so 1-5. Pinatas are going to be getting a damage buff of 5%. And they have here Magnums and Tyrans as well. But yeah, the Orkan is going to get a damage buff. The Tulumbas and the Pins are going to get nerfed. They're going to be shooting slower. Rockets are going to be nerfed. Tulumbas and Pins, but not Orkans and Pinatas. Tulumbas and Pins are going to get nerfed. They're going to be firing slower so that they don't do as much damage. I think I'm gonna start with the Griffin here. It's kind of cool, the whole ground shakes and these guys land next to me. There's going to be no change in the Thunder. I can't put a Lancelot in my my hangar right now because I don't have enough gold. I would have to reinstall the test server, which will mess up the new meta. Are you talking about the change in the weapons, or do you mean these new robots? think this guy has a shield. I can't tell. Look at the sparks. It's weird. Whoa, it is a lot stronger. I broke through his shield there. That's actually good to see that. I think we might start seeing the Punisher Griffin being used a little bit more. When did I start playing this game? Quite a long time ago, almost 3 years ago. I'm gonna be using my Fury Tempest here, see if I can take this guy out. Just gonna move side to side so that some of his rounds miss me. Everyone act normal. Told you, sometimes when I live stream, Pixonic watches. That's why when I want something and I'm like, I don't know how I feel about this weapon, I say that so that they they take note. Oh jeez, what's that guy got? Man, those zeniths are hurting. Okay, I'm gonna fire this. What? I just got hit. Some guy hit me and I just landed. Okay. I'm just trying to see the delay. I don't know. Do you guys see a difference? This guy in front of me, man. You see a lot of trolling when you go into the test server. He's running an Ancilot and EQ shield. Same delay. Maybe Pixonic can tell us, since they were here. Was that implemented on this test server? Because the pins actually seemed a bit slower, but I'm not sure about this build. Man, those zeniths. Oof, that hit. Changes are implemented. Someone's saying that it is slower. I think the pins were definitely noticeable. It's harder to tell with the Tulumbas. This guy's gonna fire pins at me. Whoa, look at his shield. He's got the Ancilot. Ooh. How funny is it that the last guy that took me out is a Lancelot with, I think it was Thunder and Orkans or something? Oh jeez, who's firing that? Some guy's firing. I'm gonna have a problem up on the left side there. I gotta get out of here. It's taking on way too much damage from that Lancelot up top. He's running an Ancilot too, which is interesting because we're seeing how competitive this bot is compared to that. Oh, missed my jump. Oh man, don't tell me I'm gonna die to Zeniths. I've only got 8,000, I'm gonna die to a Zenith. He's so gonna take me out. Got a left arm blown off. Oh wait, this guy's got one of these bots. Okay, so should I go over the nerfs and the buffs that are going to be happening in the next update? Let me know and I can just kind of go through it briefly before I run another game. If they buff the speed of the boa, I think the boa is definitely going to be more viable in the lower levels of the game. Hi Diego. Okay, so yeah, so a few of you are asking about what kind of buffs and nerfs are going to happen in the game. So first off, we're going to start with the nerfs because a lot of players are going to be happy with this. because I think it's affecting more so the lower level of play, the lower leagues. So pins and Tulumbas are going to be nerfed. The pin and the Tulumbas, both of them are going to be shooting slower. So the speed at which they shoot their rockets are going to be slower than before, which means they're not going to be doing as much damage, and at least you have time to sort of evade it. Okay, so that's what's going to be nerfed. In terms of buffs, so the buffs, we're looking at the Tempest doing 20% more damage. I guess they feel that because it's a heavy weapon, it should do more damage than what it's doing now. They are actually going to be buffing the Molots and the Punishers as well. On the test server, I believe that we are actually seeing a damage increase to physical shields, 250%. Let me switch back to my screen here. So yeah, 250% damage to physical shields, but I don't think they're going to bring that to the next update. Instead, what they're going to be doing is the Punisher is going to be getting a buff of 15%, so 1-5. The Punisher Mark II is going to be getting a damage buff of 25%, 25%. Molots are going to be getting a buff of 15%, so 1-5, and Molot MK2 or Mark II is going to be getting a buff of 20%, so 2-0. So we're going to be seeing a buff to the Tempest, the Punish, and the Molots. We're going to be seeing a buff to the Orkan. So the Orkan is going to be getting a 15% damage increase, so 1-5. The Penata is getting a damage buff of 5%. The Magnum is getting a damage buff of 5%, and the Turan is getting a damage buff of 15%, 1-5. So we're seeing close range weapons, some of them anyways, getting a buff. They're also buffing the Spiral at 15%, so 1-5. Aphids are going to be getting a buff of 5%, and Hydras are going to be getting a buff of 1-5%. And I think, oh, we have one more. So range. So geckos are going to be getting a they're going to be getting an additional buff of 25%, so 2-5, and the Trebuchet is going to be getting a buff of 5%. Okay, so those are all the buffs, and just keep in mind too, guys, that even though, you know, when these changes get made to the live server and we see these changes, if there's anything that is too powerful or like underpowered for that matter too as well, Pixonic can see all of this on their end. Like, they're monitoring everything. So like, as is the case with the RDB Griffin. Okay, so the RDB Griffin, the Tulumbas, and the pins, they were doing too much damage, and, you know, obviously it set off alarm bells on their end. So that's why they're making the changes. So yeah, don't worry about if weapons are being too overpowered or underpowered. I mean, I guess you could complain, but it's not really going to do much because they can see it on their end anyways. And that's usually when they go in and then we start making changes. One thing that, you know, that I'm surprised that I don't see on this list is the Ancilot. So I think maybe they're going to take a look to see how these changes affected. Noricum Zenith buff coming. I have no idea about that. You're going to have to ask Pixonic. Test server gameplay or just watch the end stats? I'm pretty sure they watch it. To the war robots, WR mean. I'm just trying to figure out what you're referring to. Oh, you're talking about Pixonic in the chat, you mean? I have no idea. Oh, I think when I hover over it, it says verified. So I guess they are trying to say that they're legit. They're a legit account or whatever channel. Okay, so I don't know. Do you guys want to run the same line up here. I've only got 3,600 gold, so I don't know if you want me to change something. Maybe I should run... Let's run Terrans or something on here. I think I have enough, right? With the Tempest and Molots. I guess I could do that too. Oh man, I'm running out of 1,500. I can't get that. I'm gonna have to strip my... I'm gonna have to strip this. Well, you know what you can always do is... Let's do this. Okay, so we've got the prototype here with Tempest and Molots. On the new bots. I don't know if I can switch up much on here. I'm gonna have to keep the Thunders because I don't have enough gold to purchase an Ancilot or something. Run the Stalker. You know what's kind of funny is, if these robots have stealth, if you run a Stalker, the other team will probably fear you because they think you're in one of those bots, and then you come around the corner and it's like, oh, a Stalker. Element of surprise. Whoa man, we already started. The heck? Will they increase the damage of the Tempest? They will. Let me just see. Did I say 20? I think it's 20%. So the Tempest is going to be doing 20% more damage. I hope these guys have heavy brawlers or something in here. They try to jump. Damn, I didn't know I could reach that. This thing definitely jumps higher than the Griffin. Nice. I was in stealth. I managed to take that guy out. That's actually good to know because you could actually take out campers with that pot pretty good. There's that 5-second delay. Oh, move out of my way. I want a piece of this guy. Oh, he jumped into the ceiling. Oh man, I don't want him to see. I think he saw me. Yeah, why do you need a Descend robot? Just roll out a Fury Thunder. There's a... I found the counter to the Descend robot, guys. It's a Fury Thunder. Oh, look, that's interesting. You see what that guy's doing? He's firing. It's wide enough to fire around that that pillar thing. Here, let's test that out. It's kind of like a Ancilot, I guess. Ooh. So apparently, can you fire around here? Just barely. Just trying to see. Keep getting stuck here. What the heck? Yeah, this thing would die very quickly if you didn't have that stealth. But even the stealth, it's not like it makes it too overpowering. I know some players will think that, but 5 seconds isn't really that long. Yeah, I'm gonna try something that's gonna look stupid. I just want to jump here so I can go into stealth. I just wanted to jump so that I had that stealth before I attacked that guy. We're all facing the ceiling. This, oh, where'd this guy come from? Oh man, he jumped over. Totally got me by surprise. Dude, it's taking me longer to take out a Carnage. Let's see if I can do extra damage to that shield. Look at the paint work. Oh wow, I'm stripping him. This guy's screwed. Come on, reload! The effect when you break that shield, it looks so weird. It's like paint. Pins are too slow now. That actually took a while for me to even take out that Carnage. Oh crap. Oh crap. The Punisher is actually fun to use now. That didn't end well. And yeah, I know I should run a whole lot of Griffins with the Punishers. I could probably do that if you want me to do that. Should I do that? Carnage. I don't think I can get a Carnage because I don't have enough gold. How much is the Carnage here? Yeah, 2,500. I don't have enough gold to purchase a Carnage. Do you like 5 Griffin Punishers? Thanks, Click. Hey, Droopy. Everyone's saying go for 5 Griffin Punishers. Yeah, let's do that. You can see the Punishers in action. Got to equip all of these bots here. Hold on. And we will just go with the Emerald. We'll go with the Hulk. Hi, Zubair. Okay, so we've got 5 Griffins here. All of them are Punisher Griffins. We're going to see how well we do against these guys running these robots. Hi, Nub. I will be going over the buffs and the nerfs that are going to be happening in the next update. I'll do that right at the end, just to recap, so that if anyone happened, you know, if you drop by kind of late, at least you'll have that. Oh, that guy's gonna hit. He's gonna hit my teammate, and I'm gonna get hit too. That guy didn't last too long. Oh man, I'm trying to empty my clip here before these guys come around the corner. Come on, delay them. Man, I'm getting hit. This guy. What I really want to do is I want to face a Ancilot, because I want to see how long it takes me to strip their shield down. Or even a Galahad would be a good indicator. This guy's gonna go into, he's gonna jump, he's gonna go into stealth. I think he's waiting to attack my teammate here, so I'm gonna let him jump first. I need him to jump first and then get out of his stealth, and then I'm gonna attack him. That's if there's any... He's getting shitted up. I think he's gonna attack soon. This guy's gonna jump. I know he's gonna jump. He's getting ready. Oh man, I got 2 guys here. 3 guys. Holy crap. I got shredded up pretty good. He's right above me. Come on, man. There's always some guy triple team me. That Griffin did pretty good against that that descend robot. Mind you, he was like half dead. Ooh, I'm liking this Punisher Griffin. Zach, I'm gonna be going over the changes to the buffs and nerfs of weapons right at the end, which is gonna be after this game. So I'm gonna be recapping everything just so that you know what's gonna be changed in the next update. This guy's still here with his Zeniths. I think he's the same guy that was dropped in right at the start. What I think of you. Old school wins. Oh, try to see if I could take that guy out. This guy's still alive. I think he only used one bot the whole game. He must really be annoying them. I wonder how much damage. What's his name? Pilot JBT. I think that's his name. This guy's gonna jump. Oh man, I thought I'd be able to kill him. I thought I'd be able to shred him up because my my punishers were the same level. The Punisher's looking good. I like the Punisher. Yeah, the Punisher's looking really nice. Okay guys, so that was my last game. Oh, Molots. We'll have to do that for another live stream, maybe tonight. So I'm gonna be going over the changes to the game in the next update. So we're going to be doing a recap now. So this is what was mentioned at the start. So in terms of nerfs, we're going to start with the nerfs first because I don't know, I just feel that it's important to mention that first. I'm going to, let me do this, I'm going to turn the music off here so that you guys can hear a little bit clearer. Okay, so the first thing that we're going to be doing, or at least looking at, is the nerfs that are going to be happening in the next update. So let's see, medium rockets. So pins and Tulumbas are going to be nerfed. They're going to be shooting slower than before. So that's what's going to happen with the pins and Tulumbas. And by shooting slower, it's going to be doing, there's less damage output. So that those two are going to be nerfed. In terms of buffs, so there's a lot of buffs that are going to be happening here. So the first buff is going to be the Tempest. The Tempest is going to get a 20% damage increase. The Gecko and the Trebuchet. So the Gecko is going to be getting a buff of 25%, so 2-5. The Trebuchet is going to get a buff of 5%. The, let's see, Spirals are going to get a buff of 15%, so 1-5. The Aphid is going to be getting a buff of 5%. The Hydra is going to be getting a buff of 15%, so 1-5. And then close range rockets, so the Orkin is going to be getting a buff of 15%, so 1-5. The Pinata is getting a buff of 5%. The Magnum, 5%, so a buff for the Magnum. The Tehran is going to get a buff of 15%, so 1-5. Okay, so that's the Orkin, Pinata, Magnum, and Tehran. And then lastly, the machine guns. So the Punisher is going to get a buff of 1-5%. The Punisher Mark II is going to get a buff of 25%, so 2-5. The Molot is going to get a buff of 1-5%, and the Molot Mark II 20%, so 2-0. Okay, so that's all the buffs and all the nerfs are going to be happening in the next update. So update, what is it, 2.9.2? So that's what's going to happen in the next update. So for those of you that were concerned about the medium range, the Tulumbas and pins being too powerful, well, it's going to be nerfed. So that's what's going to happen. The close range weapons are going to be buffed, because that way you don't have a situation where something like pins or Tulumbas do more damage than close range weapons, which should never really be the case, because otherwise why would you get an Orkin then? The close range weapons are going to be getting a buff, so that should be distinguishable, you know, close range and medium range. Bye, Jack. Okay, so that's I think that's pretty much it. I don't know if you have any questions. Feel free to post it in the chat, and I will try my best to answer them. I'm gonna put up a screen right now just so you guys can kind of see what's being tested on the test server this weekend. So we are testing, you know, the extra damage to physical shields, 250% as well. That's not going to be, I don't think that's coming in the next update, but in a future update. Hey Daryl, anytime Greg. Bye Zubair. Hi Avalkiz, I think that's how you say it. Mythic. What time is it in Canada? 4:33 p.m. That's in Toronto. Should you get a Galahad or a Ancilot? This is just my opinion, and Pixonic might not like me saying this, but for me personally, I wouldn't actually get any of the gold robots right now, because the game is going through a change. We will be getting the new robots, so the Korean robots, which are going to be coming out, I think end of this month, August. So you may want to wait, save your gold, and then wait to see, you know, what those robots end up being, whether it's gold or event currency. And because we are testing this new robot now, I'm not sure if this new robot is going to be gold either. Because if it does end up being gold, then I think for me personally, I would rather invest something like this than a Lancelot or Galahad. Randy, would you recommend upgrading weapons first or robots? I always upgrade weapons first. Weapons are what do damage, and you need to get your damage in, because the more damage you do, the more silver you make, and you need silver to upgrade your weapons and robots. Is there any spider robots coming out? I have no idea. That's something you're gonna have to ask Pixonic. Would they ever name a robot after me? I don't know if I would want a robot named after me. Maybe they can slap on the logo or something. Limited edition. Hi Quiet. Can I recap the Tulumbas and the pins? Okay, so let me just scroll back here. So the pins and Tulumbas, they're going to be shooting slower. There's no, well, I mean, they have given me numbers here, but I'm not sure if they're going to be changing it. If Pixonic is still around, then let me know if I can mention that, or maybe you want to mention it. But pins and Tulumbas, they're going to be shooting slower, and because they're shooting slower, they're doing less damage. It also allows players to kind of evade those rockets so that they aren't as powerful. My one concern though is, like, I've seen all of these changes here. I mean, I'm not really a fan of some of them, but I also know that Pixonic always monitors this stuff in game, and if it becomes a problem, then they always change it. So that's kind of why I knew that the pins and Tulumbas were probably going to be nerfed, because players were saying players were running with 3 of them in their hangar. That's usually a warning sign. But yeah. Do I get gold from Pixonic or do you earn it? Actually, a lot of the gold that I have has been either earned or purchased. Do you think Griffins will be obsolete when this new heavy Griffin comes out? No, I don't think so. I think you will still see it in like the lower level of play. The last game that I played purely with Griffin Punishers, and I was taking down that new robot, the Descent robot. So you got to remember, this is like the first time we've actually seen this robot on the test server for iOS. The chances are they're probably going to go in there and they're going to start making tweaks based on feedback and stuff. Do you think we'll be using the RDB less? I'm sort of actually not even using the RDB right now, Rob. I don't know if you've seen the live streams that I've been running. I don't think I've actually been using the RDB at all. Am I worried about the stealth? Not really. I think how they could change it is possibly... Maybe it only goes into stealth when it jumps, but it's not in stealth mode when it lands. I mean, that's one way that they could change it. RDB will still be more than viable. I think it will be more viable in lower leagues. I'm not sure about higher level play. I actually have a feeling, based on what I'm seeing here in these changes, I think what's actually going to happen is I think we're going to see a return of the Ancilot in numbers again. That's just my opinion based on what I'm seeing. I think we're going to be seeing a growth in Ancilots again, but I'm not sure how they're going to react to the whole Punishers and Molots. I think we may potentially see a lot of players running the Punisher Griffin, because if it starts doing like increased damage to physical shields and stuff, I mean, that's a whole new ball game there. Or we might even see, another option is we may actually see a Lancelot with Thunder Punishers. That could be another viable build. Or even a Galahad with Punishers. Switch your RDB to Punishers. Yeah. The only thing is on smaller maps, I'm not sure how a Punisher Griffin will be able to compete with a Lancelot with Ansel Shield. Like on Dead City or Power Plant. It sort of needs that 250% damage increase. And now it's getting nerfed. That's why I said, you know, you got to be careful when you buy too much of a same weapon or robot, because when that happens and everyone starts doing that, that's going to send alarm bells off on Pixonic side. They're going to be like, guys, take a look at these numbers. Why are these players running like 5 RDB Griffins in the hangar? They're going to know these things. They can see it. And that's when you start to see, because the only reason why a player would run that many in their hangar is because it's doing a lot of damage. I mean, think about it. If you saw those numbers, you'd probably be a little bit concerned about what players are doing too, and then you'd start to go in and probably rebalance things. Roger, Lancelot or 5th hangar slot? I would go with the 5th hangar slot first. It's going to help players with bad aim to bring in more rockets on targets. Yeah, I'm not sure how it's going to affect. I think we may start seeing more Ancilots being used again in higher level play. I'm not sure how it's going to affect. We may actually potentially see the Punisher Griffin make an appearance with maybe combination of death buttons, perhaps. I don't know. For new players, what is an RDB? So an RDB is a Griffin with Tulumbas and pins. Let me just load one up here, so you guys can see what an RDB is. And I'll go into the story of how I came up with that name. Actually, I think someone else mentioned it in our clan. But I'm not sure if it was a widely used term. So this right here is the RDB Griffin. So Griffin with Tulumbas and pins. And it's called an RDB Griffin because RDB means Russian death button. The reason why we call that is because back when I first started playing this game, I used to run with one of the clan leaders, and he was from Europe, I believe. So we were playing on the Russian servers, and back then, pretty much every Russian player had one of these in their hangar. Some of them had 2 of them. So if you think like it's bad now, this is what it was like before for me. It's just that there wasn't that reload time, and they were very good at using this bot, so we pretty much nicknamed it after them. Russian death button, RDB. Flood builds triggers pick statistics nerf alerts. That's pretty much what happens. And the same thing goes too with the opposite. If I think that's why they're kind of buffing the gecko and stuff. You know, if no one's using it, then they're going to be like, well, why is no one using it? It must be really bad. So then that's when they start to go in and they start buffing it. It's probably why they're doing the whole spiral aphid thing, because aphids were really good, but then players stopped using them. But I think it's because of all the Ancilot shields too. Do you run an Ancilot shredder in my lineup? Well, I've actually been running I've been running a Carnage Thunder and a Fury Thunder. I've been messing around with that. I'm actually quite enjoying it too. I mean, I might die sometimes, but other times if I get lucky, I can do a lot of damage with those bots. Are you going to get the new bot once it's released? Which one? The Descend robot? This one? Probably. I guess it depends on the price too. Spirals are rarely used. I think in low level play, a lot of players use it, but in high level play, no one uses it. Doesn't do enough damage. Hi, Fred. Maxed gecko patterns. Well, if everyone starts running it, then it probably will be. Everyone overused the Hydra spirals. I think if everyone started using it, then there will be a nerf. You know it's gonna happen. I said this before when, you know, I could see in the comment section on my videos, I could see everyone complaining about Tulumbas and pins. I'm like, these weapons are gonna get nerfed. They're so gonna get nerfed. And players are telling me that they're running 3 in their hangars. I'm like, it's gonna get nerfed. You just know it's coming. You just don't know when. The best hanger on the current test server. I don't think there really is. Oh, on the current test server. We're talking test server here. I don't know. I'm guessing probably 5 of these bots. I don't know. What do you think about the Tempest weapon? Well, I like the way that the Tempest works and how it sounds, and I think it's a good idea that they're actually increasing the damage, because it makes it a little bit more viable in higher level play, especially with all the Ancilots out there. And you know, the more you start seeing all these shielded bots, the more you need a way to counter it, and I think this is, or at least the Tempest is one way to do it. Hi Faircon. Okay, so you just dropped by. What are they going to be doing with the next update? I'm going to go through everything again, just repeat myself. So we're going to start off with nerfs. So in terms of nerfing, they are going to be nerfing the pin and Tulumbas in the next update. They are going to be doing this by slowing down the shooting speed of both of those weapons so that the damage output isn't as much as it is right now. So they are going to be nerfed. They're going to be shooting slower. Okay, and in terms of buffs, they're going to be buffing the Tempest, 20% damage increase. They're going to be buffing the Gecko, 25% damage increase. They're going to be buffing the Trebuchet, 5% damage increase. They're going to be buffing the Spiral, 15% damage increase. The Aphid's going to be buffed as well, 5%. They're going to be buffing the Hydra, 15% damage increase. They're going to be buffing the Orkin 15%. The Pinata is going to be buffed 5%. The Magnum's going to be buffed 5%. The Tehran's going to be buffed 15%. And then moving on to the machine gun. So we're going to be seeing a buff to Punishers 15%. Punisher Mark II 25%. Molot 15%. And the Molot Mark II 20%. So all the Punishers and the Molots are going to be buffed. This is actually already on the test server right now, I believe. But they've also included on the test server I have a screen up right now here. They've increased 250% damage to physical shields on top of, I believe, those buffs that I just mentioned. So there's going to be a lot of Punishers and Molots, I think, going to be rolling out. Yeah, I know. I wasn't a fan of the whole Spiral Hydra Aphid. I can kind of see, because not many players are using the Aphid much. It kind of got nerfed actually the past couple of updates, to the point where, you know, I don't even run it anymore because it's just not effective. In fact, I don't even know if that 5% is even worth me running. I think they need to make Aphids fly higher and maybe more focused to make it more viable. But again, this is just my opinion. But yeah, they're gonna really be buffing those Punishers, Molots, and the Tempest, which is going to be great because then you can shred up those Lancelots and anything with a physical shield, which I like. Bye, kid. Everyone's going to run 5 Griffins now. You could actually potentially run something like a Punisher Rhino even, because at least you have a shield. So if someone fires and while you're reloading, you just put your shield up. That could help. Which of these buff weapons has the highest damage increase? Let's see. I think... Let's see, we've got Gecko at 25%. I think that might be the highest. Actually, no, the Gecko and the Punisher Mark II. Both of those are at 25%. But this is just me. I'd rather run a Punisher than a Gecko. Punishers do a lot more damage than a Gecko will. And now they want it back. I know. The buffing and nerfing continues. Anytime Wax. Anytime Bahama. I think they were around because they wanted to see what I was saying. They're probably still around. They're like monitoring. It's like, what is Adrian gonna say at the end of his live stream? He wasn't supposed to. But yeah, I think overall I'm sort of happy with those changes. I'm not too happy about the whole spirals and the hydras though, and I'm kind of surprised that I don't see the Ancil in, you know, what was mentioned to me, because I think I would have liked to see the Ancil being nerfed a bit, because I guess it's hard to tell, because if we start seeing more players run the Punisher and it works really well against like the Ancil shield, then I'm fine with it. But I guess only time will tell. Yes, Aaron, we're at the end of the live stream. They're still here. That was my way of checking to see if you're still here. Hi, Momo. It used to be 600 plus. It's probably because we were waiting for the gold giveaway. Yeah, there's no gold giveaway or anything, but there's gonna be a... So this is gonna be a thing for the guys that have stuck around too. On my channel, we're gonna be doing quite a big giveaway tomorrow. Thanks, Pixonic. Yeah, make sure that you monitor that Ancil in high level play, because my prediction is I think we're going to see more players using that. I want to see how the Punisher works with that Ancil though, because it's going to be important with that Punisher to see if it can wear down. But my prediction, I think we're still going to see a lot of Ancilots roll out. Champion League, it's ridiculous. If we start seeing 5 Ancilots rolling out again, then you know it's a problem. How much does the buff Orkin do? The Orkin does 15%, 1-5. The next live stream, I don't know, I may do one tonight, I'm not sure. So again guys, because we didn't have a giveaway today, there's going to be a pretty big giveaway tomorrow, and I think Ryan's going to be joining me again. Last time when he was around, remember that pretty big goal giveaway? Well, we're going to have another one similar to that. So make sure that you stick around, and I think I'm going to be wrapping things up here. So if you haven't yet subscribed, please do subscribe, and make sure to turn on channel notifications, because as I said, tomorrow there's going to be a pretty big giveaway, and I'm just hoping that I'll be able to do all of that in the 1.5 hour time span that I usually do for my live streams on Sunday. But yeah, there's going to be a pretty big giveaway, and you don't want to miss that. So that's going to be tomorrow. Okay, so that about wraps it up. Thank you very much to any of the moderators if you're still around. I think Clyde and Togi and Josh Letho if you're still around. I don't know if he was on. Thank you very much for moderating my live stream. Thank you very much to Pixonic for dropping by. And hopefully you got to see some of the suggestions and stuff from some of the viewers. And that pretty much wraps it up. Until the next live stream, I will catch you guys later. Cheers, guys.